Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how you can build your own custom AI agent slash chatbot for your Shopify e-commerce store. Okay, so if you ever dreamed of building your own AI chatbot, then this is the video for you because basically we're going to be learning how to build AI agents in n8n, how to build fully custom AI based front-end solutions using Claude, right? So we're going to be using Claude to build the entire front end for our chatbot. And then you're going to learn how to connect all of that, integrate all of that into a Shopify, convert that to a Shopify liquid, right? Guys, it's an absolutely value-packed video. Make sure to stick around until the end because I will be as well providing source code for the n8n free template, right? And also the source code for any Shopify related liquid code, guys, okay? So if that sounds like fun and something you want to tackle today, then let's go ahead and dive into it right away. Okay, so we're going to start with the step number one, which is basically I'll walk you through the n8n agent. Okay, so how it works and stuff like that. So this is n8n, and n8n is basically a automation platform. It's really popular these days to create a bunch of automations. And it's also really popular to create agents because it's like super flexible. So as you guys are going to see, we're going to be building a fully custom agent for Shopify. But again, it's not really limited just Shopify. It can be WordPress, WooCommerce, Wix, Webflow, like honestly, any platform out there. Right. But again, today it's going to be Shopify focused. But if you're interested in different platforms, let me know down in the comments which platforms you're interested in. And I can also make a video on how to create chatbots or agents for those platforms as well, right? So guys, let's go ahead. So the first one, obviously, we have the A agent. That's kind of the most important part of the entire workflow. So A agent, and then it has a prompt, right? So it's prompt engineered to really work with one specific website. And today, as a reference, we are using Debugging.com, which is basically AI store builder for Shopify stores, meaning that AI can build Shopify teams using AI, right? So basically, it's going to serve as a sort of, I would say, a lead AI agent, right? So if the user goes to or visitor goes to Debugging.com and they have a question about plans or maybe book a free demo or how to start a free trial, so it will have access to the Beautify.com entire website, and it will be able to provide all the links and answer all the questions, right? So again, pretty much a standard chatbot, but again, on your own terms, and you can build it exactly the way you want it, and it's going to be costing you way, way less than actually paying for a chatbot again. And chatbots are usually limited in terms of what they can do, and you need to reach out to support to have something custom made. So today you can learn how to do entirely everything yourself, and you can even take it a notch higher, and you can essentially at some point convert that into an actual micro-SaaS chatbot business if you want to, right? So again, possibilities are really endless. So again, let's go back to prompt. We have the role, we have the tools, right? So because we are using tools for web scraper and it's called Tavly, we're using Tavly web scraper to scrape the Beautify.com website. So we are just basically defining the role of our agent, the tools, the inputs. Okay, this is a variable from the chat input, right? So when we are chatting with the AI agent, right, it needs to send the data from the chat to the AI agent. And to do that, we are using basically a variables, right? So in n8n, everything is a variable. So to receive a data from previous node, we need to use a variable, right? And that's what it is. So chat input, that's what it is. If we close this one right here and go back to canvas, this is the chat input from where we are receiving the data from the visitor on the website later on. And how does that work? The data is being basically sent through something called webhook, okay? So this is a chat URL, or in a sense, that's a webhook, right? And we're going to be using that later on in our Shopify front-end code to basically connect the workflow with the front end. And then we're going to split the variables into chat input and also into some other stuff like to show the URLs or whatever. So guys, it's going to be a fully custom chatbot solution. You're going to see exactly how that works and goes. And I'm going to be building pretty much everything live as we go. The only thing I have prepared is the AI agent here, but the rest of the code will be done as we go, right? So, and this is the web scraper. And Web Scraper is the tool that allows the AI agent to scrape a certain website. So right now I'm limiting it to basic because I don't want to use too many credits or tokens through Tavly. If you guys want, check out Tavly. They offer 1,000 monthly credits on the free tier, which is very generous. And even their paid plans are very generous if you are dealing with a lot of customer traffic, for example. But again, as a beginner, 1,000 credits is more than enough to build this solution and kind of demo it and see if you want to take it further. So yeah, we're using Tavly, free tier. That's more than enough. I'm limiting the search depth to basic because I don't want it to go all over the place and just eat up all the credits. Then I'm using domains. I want to make sure that it's only using thebeautify.com. Otherwise, it's going to go on Google. It's going to start searching for thebeautify.com. And again, it's going to be using too many resources. So I'm just narrowing it down and making sure that, okay, just scrape thebeautify.com because that's the focus. That's what it does, right? And then we have OpenAI model. And guys, you will need to go to OpenAI API platform, create API key. And once you do, you're going to basically copy paste that API key in here. Okay, it's really easy. Just go to OpenAI API platform, create an account, put some money onto your API key, and bring the API key in here and copy paste, and you're going to be good to go. If you want to learn exactly how to create API keys, make sure to check out my channel. I have a lot of tutorials and videos on how to generate API keys and how to bring that to n8n and how to make the entire thing work. But again, if you run into any issues, leave a comment. I'm going to help you out. Okay, don't worry about it. So now let's start working on a front-end solution, right? So for that, I'm going to be using Claude. So what I want to do, I'm going to ask basically Claude the following. Okay, so far I have basically built an AI agent chatbot front-end for me, which accepts data from n8n. We have chat input and session ID for cookies. I need HTML, CSS, and JS. All the logic is handled from n8n, and then I'm gonna basically give a webhook or webhook side, which is, so the webhook will be basically the chat URL right here. The only thing I need to do, I need to make sure that it's active. Otherwise, it's not going to be accepting any requests, right? Because it's just inactive, then you're just going to get like a 500 or 503, I forgot which the server code, basically saying that it's not available or request failed, right? So it needs to be active, so it's available on the web. So once it's good to go, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the chat URL right here, and I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to share it with the Claude. This is the basically webhook for the chat. And then a couple of things I want for the front-end UI. So Chatbot UI should be able to output links in user-friendly way. Should be mobile responsive, has cookie and session storage logic, because if the user refreshes the page, I don't want the chat to be basically reset, right? So we need to think about storing data in the local storage or cookies, whatever. So if the user refreshes the page, the history remains, but we are giving a user an option to start new chat if user is returning, which will clear the cookies. Okay, so a bit of more privacy reasons logic there. Cool to have. Let's see what else we're possibly missing here. And for inspiration, I'm gonna go to Dribble, and I'm gonna get some chatbot, I guess, inspirational design. So this was actually whatever. This is actually pretty cool. This could work out. So this is cool. Actually, this is exactly what I want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this as a snippet, okay? And like this, I'll take the screenshot here, guys. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this to Claude, just copy this one. The only thing I don't want from the chatbot is UI notes. So I don't want the name. So chatbot name will be the Beautify help, for example. I don't need voice and attachment icons, okay? Like in the reference. Okay, I don't want those. There's no need for that. What else? And the rest is good, I think. And no need for profile avatars. We can use icons to distinguish, to distinguish, how to write that? Distinguish, okay, did I get it right? Almost. To distinguish between AI chatbot and user. Okay, so that's for that. What else? What else? I think we're good. So let's go with the version 1. Let's see how that looks. Let's send that. Okay, let's give it a couple of minutes. So it's basically gonna do everything in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we're gonna have a visual preview shortly from Claude. Okay, so let's give it a moment here. Okay, while it's doing its thing, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my Shopify and I'm gonna prepare the environment slowly. So I'm gonna go here. This is my Shopify theme. I'm using the Beautify for reference. I'm gonna click these 3 dots right here. I'm gonna click on Edit Code. And now I'm gonna basically go to snippets, if I'm mistaken. So I'm gonna look for snippets section, okay? Because snippets can be injected globally across the team, where sections could be limited to a specific template. But again, snippets kind of easier. Snippets is kind of a more common approach, right? When you deal with chatbots and notifications pop up, so you could kind of pop that into snippets. So in the snippets, I'm gonna do a new file, and I'm gonna call, I'll just call it chatbot, okay? I'll call it chatbot and chatbot.liquid. So we're gonna be working with liquid. Okay, so this is good for now. So I'm gonna leave it as a placeholder here for now. So let's go back to n8n. So it's doing its thing. Add message. Okay, there you go. So here's the chatbot preview. All right. Okay, for obviously with the error, it's not connected to anything. So I don't like this one right here. Remove the what is called input selector for chat input. Okay, I think it's a selector, if I'm not mistaken. I just forgot which selector it is. So I'm just gonna do this and take a screenshot like this, bring it to Claude. It's simple CSS. It just needs to basically apply a either hide class or just really remove it. I believe it's overflow. If I'm mistaken, it needs to apply an overflow for CSS. So it's gonna do that. Let's give it a sec. Okay. You broke you broke the entire chat input. You just have to remove overflow. Okay. So let me do again this snipping tool. Okay, guys, I'm trying to keep everything super raw in a sense for the content. I want you to see kind of what kind of issues I'm facing and how I'm troubleshooting these issues and how I fix things, because that's basically going to be a good learning path for you guys to understand how things are troubleshooted, because there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube and everything looks perfect and nice, but obviously that's not the case in the background. We face a lot of errors and issues. So this is kind of a good that you're going to see how I'm troubleshooting it, okay? So it completely broke the entire flow. For some reason, it added, it's bizarre. There is a text outside the container. Please fix the text. It should not leak outside the container. Okay, for chatbot. Sometimes Cloud just starts making a bunch of messy things and then just like breaks the entire flow. Let me see if it sees that. Like it says select information is leaking outside the chat. Great, it sees that. Cool. So let's see if it can actually fix that. Come on, buddy, you can do it. I believe in you. Let's see. All right, guys, so after a couple attempts, I finally was able to do that. So this is good. We're getting somewhere. So it's a nice clean UI. Let me see how that responds on a mobile. On a mobile, it takes a full screen, which is good. The only thing, again, we have these, we have the overflow here. But anyways, we'll address that in a sec, okay? So the first version is good to go. So this is good, I like that. So now what we're gonna do, I wanna convert this into a liquid, okay? So now convert this into a chatbot that liquid. I need divs and CSS and GS wrapped in liquid syntax where applicable. Okay, the Shopify will not read that correctly. You can keep all of it in single liquid file, for example. Okay, so now it's going to convert everything into a liquid. And I'm going to bring it here. That's kind of the idea behind it. Okay, so now we're going to wrap everything into liquid syntax. Let's see if it can catch that. Okay, so comment, cool. Style, yeah, these are the These are the style tags for Liquid for Shopify. This is going to be the CSS. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, so this is going to take a minute, guys. I'll get back to you as soon as it's rendered out, so we can start bringing that to a Shopify. Okay, so I just kind of looked closely what it does. So here I see right away we're going to have problems with the syntax, but not the syntax of the code, because here, okay, it's pulling the webhook. That's good, but now it's doing the constant. It's doing variables for JavaScript. It's using constant, which makes sense, but it's session key and message key. Okay, so this is going to crash because this does not exist, right? So we need to feed that to Cloud because it doesn't understand the structure of the output, right? It doesn't know that it should be in this format right here, right? So this is JSON, and so we'll bring all this JSON, and I'm going to say something like this. So your const vars are not correct because n8n outputs the session and message. Okay, let me just do like this: session and message in the format below. Okay, no, and let me just. Oh my god! So I need to do this and do this. I just went on a mouse click rage. Okay, so now it should get a bit of more context. Okay, and it should rewrite the JS script, right? Let's see if it understood. The user is pointing out that I need to update JavaScript code to match the expect format from n8n. I'm saying, okay, cool. So that's the one. But n8n expects, all right, let me see. Before chat inputs. Okay. Okay, great. So I'm good to go with this one. I'm sure we're going to face a couple of bugs there. Let me bring that in here. Let's see if we have any errors. We do. So what is it saying here? Click variable found in JavaScript blocked. Okay. Tags should only contain static JavaScript code. Okay. So this means that it's putting liquid variables into a JS, which does not accept a liquid between the JavaScript tags here. So we have JavaScript. So this tag is only expecting to have JavaScript static or pure code, right? So we can't really plug in any liquid variables. So in here, what we're going to do, we'll bring it to Cloud. We're not going to troubleshoot this ourselves. We're going to say liquid error for JS section for const variables. Okay, so now it's going to fix that. But other than that, I think we're good. We don't have any other errors expect for that one. So that's good news. Let me just counter it. Yep, so we're good to go here. So let's wait for it to fix the syntax errors, and then we're going to bring it again, and let's see how that works, okay? All right, so to fix the error, let's bring this again here. Let's remove all of this right here. Okay, I don't need that, so we don't have any errors. That's perfect. We can save that. Okay, so we'll save that. And what I need now, I need to reference this in a theme liquid itself, right? So I just need to find it in that liquid. Okay, so it's in the layout. All right, so we're gonna do here. So now I want to, I'm gonna do it before the closing body section, right? So that's what we want. Body, somewhere here. Okay. Okay. Now create a variable for theme that liquid to render it out on the live theme. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna understand me. Let me see. It should do. It should do. Get what I'm going at here. So it just basically gave me the same code again, which doesn't make any sense. I'm saying we already have a logic for that. Okay, we already create logic, so I don't need to repeat the same thing in the team liquid because it doesn't make sense. So what we want to basically render out the chatbot. Okay, this is the one. This is the variable I actually was looking for. I'll just do it somewhere. Let me see. License. We'll do it somewhere below here. Okay. Let me just make the things cleaner like this. Okay, let me save that. So if I click here, it brings us to Chatbot. Perfect. So integration is good to go. Let's test drive this. Okay, let's see if actually we can get this working on the front end. So I did it here. If I click on preview, let's see if we get the chatbot, and we don't. Okay, so the chatbot is not appearing in the front end. Let's see if we have any errors. This is not related. Okay, this is not related. Okay, so we have a flaw in the logic. Let's see, what is the problem? Okay, we have that. Okay, that's not it. Okay, so the problem is, I think it's basically saying if settings enable that chatbot, we don't have an actual toggle in a team liquid, so this is not going to work, right? I only need the tag, right? So I want to render it at all times, okay? We don't have a toggle in the team to toggle it on. Probably that's why it's not working. Let me test the theory. Let me save that. So it's going to be rendered at all times. Let me, okay, I believe we broke the CSS, which can happen. Let me just again go here and click on the preview. Okay, this is the chatbot. Okay, so the chatbot is rendering out on the right side, but it's breaking the entire website's CSS. Okay, so that's a problem. Let's go back and see what's causing this. Okay, so we are rendering it out. That is good, but something is breaking it. Let's see. Okay, so looking at the Shopify references, what I found that basically what we're doing here by using the render, it serves as a full page takeover, right? So whatever the CS is in the chatbot, it's going to clash and override the theme.liquid because we are doing a full takeover sort of approach, right? Where it should be an embedded code in a sense, right? So we will need to rework the logic for the chatbot to make sure that it's being rendered out as a embedded snippet instead. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, and the issue was basically we were targeting HTML body and we were overriding HTML body code with CSS, which basically broke the entire thing, right? So that's kind of the issue we're addressing here. Let's fix this by bringing in the updated code here. Let me remove all of this one. We don't need it anymore. Let's scan for any errors. We don't have any. Great. So this is good to go. Let's go back to Shopify. Let's preview that and let's see if we can get it working. Cool. So this time we are good. So here is our chatbot icon. You guys can see it. I hover over it. So the problem is right now it's not opening. Okay, and what's the error? So the error is basically isn't defined. Okay, so there's a problem with the JS code. Okay, so we'll bring that on. Basically, what the error says, we forgot to define a chatbot variable in the code. Okay, so if you don't define or saying you need to explain what this chatbot is. If you don't, you're gonna get uncaught errors or syntax like that saying that it's not defined. So every time you see something undefined, it exactly means that this piece of snippet for the JS or a piece of code, it's not simply defined. So that's why you're getting that error, right? So I'm gonna bring it back to Cloud. I'll copy paste the error code, and now it's gonna fix everything for us. Let's give it a sec. It's most likely something within the JavaScript section. Okay, let me see. I believe it was referencing on click right here. On click. Okay, it's for toggling it. Let me see where it's defined in the JS. Okay, on click. Okay, I see. It's probably something to do with this one right here. Oh, guys, yeah. So the issue is pretty much like I suspected. The onclick basically was outside the JavaScript, right? So it was looking for onclick, but it wasn't really defined within the JavaScript. So that's why it was basically throwing an error. So we just kind of moved and shifted things around. So let me just copy paste the updated code into our Shopify. Okay, let's bring all of this to here. All right, so let's just scan through the errors. We don't have any errors. That's good. Nothing red. Let's go back and try it now. So this is working still. And nice, guys. Here it is. Congratulations. You just built your first AI chatbot in Shopify. Okay, so this is good. Let's just A/B test. Let's just test the actual webhook. Let's see if it's actually responding. I don't think so. Okay, if I go here and if I go to executions, let me see. I don't think it's receiving any webhook calls from here. Okay, let's see what's up. Okay, toggle section, toggles and button is not defined. Okay, again, we are not, it forgot to define that one. Okay, so let's fix that one because right now the toggle button basically is doing nothing. It shouldn't be a problem here because I don't see any executions running, meaning that it wouldn't just even reach the n8n, meaning that there's something from the Shopify end, right? So yeah, the same thing. So it basically positioned a bunch of variables in the wrong scope, okay? JavaScript is very picky if you are not positioning the code in the right scope, meaning that if the code is not accessible from specific scope, or think of it as a where the code is positioned. If it's outside specific block, it's not going to be able to reach that snippet. And there's a lot of kind of a nitpicky things with JavaScript, right? So how you position the code is really important. But thank God we have Cloud that can do all of this for us, right? So let me copy the new code. Let's bring it back here. So we'll replace this entire thing, okay? Let me just remove it. So nothing red. That's kind of important part I'm looking for always. Nothing red is good. And now let's refresh that. So the UI is working. Let's open that and let's say hi. Okay. Let's see if the AI chatbot gets a response. Okay. Let's go to executions. Nice. There goes. It's actually working. Cool. So now it's calling the n8n. It's executing and it answered. Let's see what it says. Debugify. Let's see if that's the same one. Oh, come on. Let's see. This is not the same thing. It's not related. Although the request is going through in n8n, okay, but it's not being sent back to Shopify front end. Okay. So let's see. Session ID is working here. The chat input. We are receiving it. Okay. Okay, we have some problems here. It's undefined. So we might need to simplify the flow here. I don't think we need this one here, okay, because that was from the previous flow, which was a little bit more manual approach. So let's try this. So we're sending everything directly to a agent. It should preserve all the outputs. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's do hi. Let's go to executions. Okay, it's running. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's successful in n8n. Okay, the chat input is good. We received the hi. For some reason, it's not accepting the. Why is that? It's very interesting. Chat input. Okay, although it's the same thing. Okay, chat input here. Let me just test it out in the n8n. Let's do hi. Okay, the message is received. Okay, so the problem is sending the. Okay, I think the chat input variable is not properly set up in the front end somewhere here. Okay, so let's try to address that. All right, so the issue is basically that we have an action here. We have action in the JSON template in n8n, but we didn't have that in Shopify. So basically, and I had to go to Claude and ask him to redefine the variables, and that's what we did. So let's again replace the code here, okay, with the action added. Okay, let's save that. Okay, so this is good. Let's open it. And it's good. I see that it's saving a session. So we have the session here. It's not resetting the text. If I click new chat, that should reset the chat. Nice, that's working. Let me say hi. Let's go back to n8 and let's go to it's running. Okay, that's running good. All right, succeeded. Let me see if it's okay. So this time chat input works and we have a response from AI. Let's see if we got that here. But for some reason, we are not receiving that in n8n. Sorry, in Shopify. So, okay, so execution was success and chat input was received from front end, but we got an error. Okay, just like that. Basically saying that n8n part is working, but there's something wrong with the Shopify. Okay, now it's gonna go and review everything. Okay, if you run into a lot of issues with the same error, for example, just kind of how it works in the real time, in a real world scenario when you're working with the code, you're going to be adding something called console log. So when you're adding console log, it can actually give you a log of the exact specific error message, right? And then it's easier to debug it. But now we're not really facing too many, I would say, blockers. This is really common ones. Nothing I would say that, oh my God, like, I don't know how to fix this, right? So that's why I'm not really console logging too many errors. I don't want to like spend too much time with that. But again, if you're facing some bugs or errors that are recurring, make sure to always ask the cloud or ChatGPT, hey, can you please wrap this code in console log so we can actually understand what is the specific error, right? So this way you're going to be able to fix it much faster. So let's see. Actually, here that's what it did. It added debugging to the output. So now we're actually going to see how it works in real life, right? So let's go back here. Let's clear this code right here. Okay. And we're just going to save this one. We'll go back to Shopify. Let's refresh that. Let's see what logs are we getting. Okay, let me do hi. Let's see if we get any errors. Okay, because here, if I go to executions, it's running now. Okay, so it's running. There you go. Now, actually, it worked. Cool. And here is the console log. It actually did the output. Nice. And we have the links and everything. Pretty awesome, guys. Guys, we are like 90% good to go here. Awesome. So you have your own chatbot almost ready to go, guys. And just really a crash course on outputting and debugging. So this is what I mean. It basically added a console log for the output. So if there would be an error or bug, it'll basically say, okay, n8n response. And if there is any error or bug coming from n8n or Shopify, it's basically going to tell you the error message and where the error is coming from. And then it's easier to debug that with Cloud or ChatGPT, whatever LLM you're using, right? So cool. This is working. That's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with this. We don't have any error messages in n8n, so we know that n8n is working fine for the flow. This is good. So now I just want to like really do some minor enhancements to our chatbot here. So this is good. This session is being saved. We have the links here. This is awesome. Let me see how that behaves in a mobile. So if I go to mobile, let me just close all these pop-ups. So this is good. I just feel like it's a little bit pushed down the corner. So maybe we can adjust the padding a little bit. Let's see. So the bottom could be maybe something like 10. We're gonna like 10, yeah, 10 pixels. And then I feel like maybe we could do, actually it's right, yeah, because coming from the right side. So the right side could be like 10 pixels. Okay, so this is much better. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna adjust that manually because I'm just kind of like, since I'm here, I'm gonna do it. Let's do, so the right, let's do like 10 pixels, and for the bottom we'll also do 10 pixels, so give it a bit of a space. Okay, let's refresh that. That should be now applied. Nice, this is good, looking good. All right, it's taking full screen. The problem is only there's a CSS bug on the mobile. Let me actually put it to mobile. Cool, so we'll fix that with the cloud because it's almost good. It's just the on a mobile, I feel like this is not needed. The close button should be kind of integrated on the header part, or we don't even really need that. Let me just kind of revisit the UI. So this is good for the desktop, but on mobile, we don't need that. Okay, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Whoops, I'm gonna do that. First, let me take the snipping tool so we can take a screenshot. Okay, we're gonna take a screenshot of this right here, like this. I will bring it to cloud and I'm gonna say something like adjust. So on mobile, the close button is on top of chatbot's header versus desktop version close. And we need to say that there is Z index issue. Z index is basically as I can see the, I can scroll the elements behind the chatbot, right? So there's a problem with the Z index, and Z index basically decides from the CSS perspective how the elements are layered behind each other, right? So it's kind of a priority or like a hierarchy for the CSS elements layering in a sense, right? So issue, I can scroll behind the chatbot. Behind chatbot, it should be full screen on mobile with added close button on top. As well, I added, so we don't need to redo it. We need to basically mention that we added bottom and right for this class right here. Okay. As well, added some CSS here. Okay, now it's gonna fix what we need to. Let me see what else. Is there anything else we want to work with? So we have the links. Links are working, but it gave me the wrong link. You can do it here, start your free trial. Let's see if that's the same issue in n8n. Okay, so there's a problem with the web scraper. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna basically provide some important links to the agent. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do that. Let's first fix the CSS bugs, and then we'll address the links. All right, so the CSS should be fixed. Let me bring that to Shopify. Okay, let me bring all of these ones. Again, we're gonna replace it. Nothing red, that's good. Always make sure to save. Let's refresh that. So it's still here, that's good. Let's see the mobile. So the mobile, it was not fixed. We still can scroll. I'm not sure if it actually fixed anything. Let's see if we are on the, okay, we are on the old version. We are on version 13, but we're version 18. Okay, that's just kind of a mistake from my side, oversight. So this should be working now. Okay, good. I see the padding is there. So we are working with a new version. Nice, guys. Guys, this is beautiful. Just look at that. The only thing I see, it's not aligned. Okay, so we'll ask for AI to fix that. Let me see. Okay, we also have this scroll here. Let me see if I type a lot. There's a scroll element that I don't want. Which is actually, honestly, that's fine. It's not really that much bothering. It's fine. I'm not going to focus on that too much. So the only thing I want to do, I want to align the header sections. Okay. Again, I'm not going to really look for it. I'm just going to ask AI to do it. I'm going to take a screenshot and I'm going to say close button is not aligned. Okay. Now it's going to fix it for us. While it's doing that, what I want to see, let me see if it didn't break the desktop version. So desktop version is good. The only thing, this one right here, I want to actually get rid of it. Okay, it's overflowing. Okay, we'll take care of that just in a second. Okay, guys, so that's good to go. Let me actually, while it's doing its thing, I thought about a couple of enhancements we can add to our chatbot. Basically, what I want to do while it's fetching the data from n8n, I want to have a spinner or something like thinking, right? With some CSS like little dot animations, so it kind of gives an idea that it's loading, because sometimes it can take a bit of time to get the data from n8n. So people don't think that it crashed or doesn't work, right? So we're gonna add some kind of like a loading animation while it's fetching the data from n8n. Let me see if it fixed the CSS for the mobile. Let me go into a mobile. It fixed it, but it removed the new chat option for mobile, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back again to Cloud, and I'm gonna say you added it to desktop, which is only needed on mobile, and it seems you removed new chat option for mobile. And then I'm gonna say as well, add thinking that animation, so we can show that while we fetch the response from n8n. Okay, so let's do that. We'll address two things at the same time. While it's doing its thing, I want to do some minor adjustments to AI agent here because it's giving me incorrect links. Okay, so I'm gonna give some I would say foundational links that it needs to have. I'm gonna just call it so tools inputs. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do something like base important links. Okay, so for the links, I'm gonna get them from here. So to book a demo, okay, we'll do that. Start free trial link, book a demo link. Okay, so this is kind of the base ones. Pricing, we'll do the same thing. So pricing here. What else? What else we should add? Products. Beautify AI theme. Okay. What else? Then we can do, I think the rest is fine for now. Cool. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that it's giving correct links, because what I experienced before, it was giving me broken links for some of these. So I'm just giving it some references so it can easily give me the most important links, right? So let me save that. Let's go back to our Claude. Let's see the version 27. That's the latest one. Let's copy it and let's bring that to Shopify. All right, let's save that. Let's go back here and let's refresh. Let's see how that works. Okay, it's still, it could be that I'm cached into the old cache data. Let me just reload everything. Okay, and no, we still have the same problem. That's fine. Okay, we'll adjust that in a second. So let me see if the actually loading option is enabled. So the Beautify is thinking nice. So now we have the proper thing. Okay, hi there. Welcome to Beautify. Sorry, free trial. Now it's giving me the right links. Let me see if that works. It put a dot there. Why it's doing that? Is it something I added here by mistake? Let me. So let's check it out. Let me go to executions and let's see the last one, why it gave me that link specifically. Let me see the executions. It didn't even use Tavly for some reason. Okay. So where it got that link from the beautify.com demo. I mean, the link itself is correct. I think there's a problem with the formatting. Let's see. I'm actually using ChatGPT to see if we can have some kind of a cleanup function. So I'm going to try to prompt the AI agent. Okay, so I'll try this for the link rules. This could work because I don't want to like add any like JavaScript nodes in here to do the cleanup function, right? I don't want to like make it too complicated. I might need to add something like that in Shopify. So let me go to OpenAI, the AI agents. So where are the links? Okay, I'm in the execution, I think, right? Oh no, okay, I'm in the editor. So I just added that, guys. Where did it go? Okay, base important links. Okay, so here it is. Link rules. URLs. Okay, okay, this should be good. Let me save that and let me see. I'm gonna say also always validate the URL via Tavly scraper tool. Okay, so it doesn't come up with some URLs that don't exist. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's go back here. Let me refresh. Why I'm not able to refresh? Okay, so let's do that again. Let's do hi. It's thinking. All right, let's see if it gives me the right link this time without any dots. There you go, guys. Now it removed the dot, which is exactly what I want. And yes, it works now. Cool. Let's try something else. How much is it? Okay. Pricing team. And nice. Okay, now it works. All right, so obviously there's a bit of formatting, but I'm not going to focus on that. The point is the links are working, and now it's giving proper responses without breaking the links. That's exactly what we wanted. The last thing I want to address is really the CSS right here, guys. Okay, again, it's still breaking the header. Okay, please fix the mobile. Let me see if it's doing the same thing on desktop. It did remove it. Let me refresh that. So what I'm gonna do, I need a condition for CSS. If it's a large or desktop screen, we need to use display none for the X button because we have it here. So that's what I'm gonna say. This is for mobile. Close button is not aligned, and for mobile we don't need the X close on header as we have it on bottom. So if it's desktop or large screen, use display none for header X as it's mobile only. Okay, so now that should do the trick, I think, this time. So let's see if it gets our vision. Curious, let's see. Okay, so it said it did set display none for desktop and large screens. Let's see if that is the case. Let me just sure I'm taking the last version, 29th. Yep. Let me just clear all this out, guys. Okay, like this. Let's save that. No errors. That is great. Save. Okay. Let's see, guys. The moment of truth. Desktop is still not there, guys. I think I might need to do this manually. Yeah, I don't know why it's struggling. Actually, guys, let me check. It might be the problem with caching. No, okay. So I need to do basically preview, and I need to copy the preview link. Then I need to bring it to a private tab like this. Let's see if we're facing the same problem in private tab. Yeah, we're facing the same problem. So it just didn't fix it. Let me see if the desktop version, same thing, guys. What the hell? Seriously. Um, what's up? Header right. Let's see. Chatbot wrapper. Nope. Okay, so it's finally fixed. The cloud was able to figure out how to align the close button on the mobile and remove it on the desktop. So this is the preview for the desktop. You can see it's gone now. That's good. And if we do a mobile preview, we can see that it specifically shows only on mobile, which is exactly what we were looking to get. So at this point, our custom AI chatbot is good to go. Let's just do a final review of everything. So we're going to start a new chat. This way we're going to clear the session and cookie storage from the browser. Let's do that. Let's refresh. So let's try new request. Let's do something like, hi, can you tell me more about Debugging, for example? Let's send that. So the thinking option is working. That's good. Let's see the response we're going to get, and if we're going to get the right links. All right, so we have a good response. It explains everything, what it is, some backstory. Okay, again, guys, I didn't really focus on the formatting. That's something you can tackle on your own with CSS and with the a bit of adjustment with the cloud in your end. So that's kind of explanation of what the Beautify does. That's exactly what we were asking for. And can we start a free trial here? Technically, we can, yeah. Let's say, what about pricing? And let's see if all the executions are successful in the n8n. True, we don't have any errors. That is good to go. And for the pricing, it gives the correct link as well. Let's click on that, and it brings us to a pricing link, exactly what we want to see. All right, and let's do a last preview in a mobile. Everything's good. The scroll option is scrolling. Let's close that. Let's refresh. Let's reopen that again. And mobile is good. We can start a new chat. Okay, and we can close that. So cool, guys. So everything is good to go. So congrats, you just built your own first personal, fully custom AI chatbot in n8n. So we have the logic happening in n8n. We have the OpenAI as the brain for the AI agent. It has access to your website. If you want to change that, just go to the n8n workflow, open the Tavly node right here, and change it to your website or to the client's website. And then simply maybe adjust some prompt in here if you want to get something specific from the AI agent. Then for the source code, I will be providing the source code as well in the video description or in the comment. I don't know yet, so just double check if it's going to be as a comment or as a description. There's going to be a Google Drive link to download the Liquid source code. All you need to do is just go to Shopify, create a new snippet called Chatbot Liquid, and copy paste source code. And again, make sure to follow all the steps that we discussed in the video so you can understand how everything works and how everything connects, because you will need to change a couple of things here and there based on your flow. And again, if you run into any issues or errors, let me know down in the comments, and I'm gonna help you out, guys, personally. Don't worry about it. And if you do enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe because it's always value packed. And I always try to provide free JSON templates for n8n and source code if we're working with any third-party software, like for example Shopify, right? And make sure to enable those notifications so you get notified when the next video like this drops, guys. And you already know, happy building, and I'm gonna see you next time.